All right, y'all, welcome to day 4 of Pipeline to Profit. My name is Chris Weldon. I'm one of the community managers here with House Call Pro. Shayna's been here the last 3 days. If you've been joining us, we've been talking about a different product every day. We've been talking about the sales proposal tool. We've talked about service plans. Yesterday, we talked about Pipeline. Today, we're going to kind of be recapping all of those. We're going to be doing a summary. This is a combo. Normally at this time, we have what we call Pro Power Hour. I invite you, if you haven't heard of that yet, it's a weekly product training webinar. Every Thursday at this time, we go live. I can get you the registration link for that. But if you're here, if you're tuning in with us, I'd love to say hi, wait for folks to join for a minute. So let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. I'm going to be watching that for a second. Shayna's in the comments here as well. And I believe we're streaming on Facebook. If you're joining us on Facebook, say hello. But yeah, let us know that you're here. Give everybody a minute here. Wayne, hello. John in Florida, good to see you. I know we've got some folks that are going to jump over. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, give me a hi, give me a hello. It doesn't tell me the attendance here, so I'd love to say hey to everybody. Let's make sure we got everybody in the room. Amy, Jesse, Sacramento, good to see you, Enrique. Awesome. Perfect. All right, well, I think we can go ahead and get started. I also want to introduce Phil. Phil's one of our onboarding specialists. He partners with us to do these Pro Power Hours every Thursday. And today, like I said, we've been doing this Pipeline to Profit all week. We've been focusing on these 3 House Call Pro products. And so today we're going to kind of recap those. Phil is going to give us the mobile side. So we've been seeing kind of what it looks like on the office's end, on the desktop. Today we really want to focus on what the sales proposal tool looks like, what Pipeline looks like, and how you can add a service plan on a job, all those things on mobile. And then, of course, answer all of your questions. So if you've been with us for the last few days, you have additional questions, we want to answer those. So, Phil, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we can get started.
Sounds good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our session this week. If you are new to Pro Power Hour and new to our sessions, welcome. If you are rejoining us and have been with us since the beginning, welcome back. All right. So yeah, today we're going to focus really on everything that you've been learning throughout the week, and we're just going to kind of see the mobile side of it. We're going to do things a little bit differently today because I understand that there are a lot of questions. And so we're going to kind of skip the slide deck today, and we're just going to dive right into the demo. I'm going to share my screen, show you how I do everything. I'm going to be doing everything off of a tablet. So if anybody is like, that doesn't look like what I'm looking at, it's just a little different, but it is exactly the same layout. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, everybody can see this. Can I get a thumbs up?
Yeah, looks good.
Can see it, then I'm assuming everybody else can see it. Okay, so I logged into my mobile app here, and kind of the first thing that we're going to talk about is just the pipeline on the mobile. It has very much the same functionality as it does when you are in the website. So as I'm looking here at the dashboard, literally the first screen that you look at when you are in your mobile app is you can see kind of center top here. I haven't really found a good way to use a marker in here yet, but it says pipeline kind of right there underneath where it says tap to clock in. So if I go ahead and tap it, it's going to lead me to the next screen where it's going to ask, do I want to look at my leads? Do I want to look at my estimates or look at my jobs? So let's just, I don't really have too many leads. Let's see if I have any in there. Oh, I do have some. So as we can kind of see, as we look through this, very, very similar to what most of you are probably accustomed to using it on the website. We do have our columns here so that we're able to go through those columns and see where our leads are falling into these columns, or I usually call them buckets. And also we do have the ability, similar to the online platform, is I can click on a ticket here and I can move it over into the next bucket if I need to. So still very similar functionality that we have on the website. Also, if I want to go ahead and click into that ticket, that's not going to let me do it. So it does have a little bit different from the online platform, but at least we're able to take a look at this. I know that there are plans for a lot of improvements to Pipeline, especially when it comes to the mobile app, because we've heard a lot of feedback. People want to do more. And one of the things I definitely want to call out is that when you are building your pipeline with your columns and your automations, you're still going to want to do that all on the website. Here, we just kind of made it so that you're able to kind of go through everything and stay up to date with your work. Same thing if you haven't seen it, so I'm just going to kind of go through them all. Same thing with our estimates here. We can see all of the columns for my estimates, and I can take a look at all of my tickets that are sitting within my estimates. And if I back up, I can go ahead and look at those jobs too. So really good if you are an owner or an admin, a CEO of your company, and you're on the move a lot. This is a great way for you to take a look at your pipeline, see where all your work is, and keep tabs on the rest of your team, as well as where these jobs, estimates, and leads are falling in your pipeline, as well as the rest of the system. So I'm going to say we'll tackle questions once I kind of go through all of this demo, but really that's really all there is to the pipeline in terms of the mobile app. So I'm going to step over to our next topic, which is going to be adding service agreements through the mobile app. Now for that, it's pretty straightforward, but similar to the pipeline, you can't build service agreements in the mobile app. You've got to do that on the computer. So what I did in preparation for today is I made a lot of different service agreements, and I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to pitch those while we're out in the field. So kind of the first step, and actually I have my list here. I'm actually going to swap these two, still talk about service agreements. So let's have the scenario of we are going to do an estimate and we want to show our customer a couple of different options for service agreements. So what I'm going to do first here, acting as a technician, I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus button in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to say I'm going to start an estimate. I'll go ahead and add my customer. Okay. All right, so here is our estimate. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with just the estimate itself, and I'm just going to go ahead, and you all may have seen that we do have options. So for that, it's in the upper right-hand corner where it says more, and we have the ability to add options from scratch. I'll just kind of demo that first if you're really going to do it from scratch. So here now we see I have option 2 and I have option number 1. If I'm going to go with a service agreement, what I did is I can scroll down and I'm going to go to my line items, add a line item, and just to make it more visual for everybody, I'm going to go into my price book. All right. Don't mind me. I've noticed that sometimes when I'm screen sharing, it doesn't go to the next step, especially when I'm in my price book. So let me go ahead and get back to sharing this again once I got to that next step. All right, and we're back. Oops. Ooh, that's kind of big. How do we, let's stop that.
I think it might be that. I don't know if it's that same. I have a zoom option here too.
Oh, I see it. Can I? No.
Bear with us, y'all.
Yes. Here, let me just try it again from the beginning. Okay, there's that. And
AirPlay. Here we go.
Okay, that looks right. All
There
right,
we go.
so
Yeah.
I clicked on my price book. I went ahead and opened it, and if we're going to go, I'm just going to use heating and air conditioning as my example. And notice, kind of right there in the middle, it's I created a section for my service agreements. So if you want to show your service agreements to your customers in an estimate form, what I always tell my pros is that you want to create them as services within your price book. So I went ahead and did that. I'm going to go ahead and hit service agreements. And of course, I'm going to have to stop sharing to go into that one. All right. And we're back. So there are the three service agreements that I went ahead and created. Now, I always tell everybody it's best to leave them at $0, and you're going to see why as we go through this. But when I go ahead and click on any one of these options, oh my goodness. Okay, so there is my first service in my price book. And as you can see, I went ahead and I added a little picture there, a little description about my bronze package, and I even put in the details. This is how I coach my pros to do this when they are setting up their price book for service agreements. You want to put literally all the information you can into the description area. So that way you can see, even for me, I put in 4 visits a year at the price, a little bit of a promo, 10% off your next service if you sign up for the service agreement, that kind of thing. And when we're ready, as we see at the bottom there, it's just simply add to job. Again, we're just adding a line item at this point. Now, as I said, $0, but what I recommend is as you're talking about it with your customer, it's there in the details what the pricing is going to be. It's because if we sign up a customer for a service plan while we're on a job, if it's a line item, it's not going to go into the service plan section. We actually have a specific button for it. But at this point in our workflow, we're just simply trying to show our customer our different options. So this is the way of adding all of those options manually. And so when I hit my option 1, I can go to option 2, and through the same workflow, we'll go ahead with a line item. Go into our price book, service agreements, we'll grab our silver package. All right, and then what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to show you is I created all of these estimates for these service plans as templates. So now to kind of switch it up, when I hit that more button, notice it says add option from template. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and hit add option. I put it in my maintenance area, and we're going to select my gold package. And right then and there's the gold package. So with the mobile app, I'm sure you all are familiar with that present button in the upper right-hand corner. So now if I go ahead and hit present, we're going to have all of these options here for the customer to look at. And I'm using my tablet here, so I always say, you just turn it around, show it to your customer. They can take the tablet or your phone, go through each option, and see all of those details. Now, one thing I did notice as I was messing around with this earlier this morning is notice how I did the line items, and really there was no picture or anything like that, at least in my present mode. So what I would suggest, and I think what everybody should do, is go ahead and create your templates. We have done sessions in the past where we talked about templates, so I strongly recommend you check those out to see how you go ahead and build out a specific estimate template. But I'm I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these and show you how it's going to look after I do a couple of these when I add these templates in here, because I made them look all super nice for you. All right, so we have our gold package, and we're going to go ahead and add option from template. We'll do our bronze package and add option maintenance silver package. All right, so now when I hit present, look how awesome that looks. You can see the picture, you can see the description that I put in my price book, you can see the details of that pricing. Now, I did include the pricing on the templates, but you're going to see how that plays out, because remember I said is if the customer pays for it, it's not going to go into the service plan section. So customer's going to go ahead, look through them all. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that bronze package. So let's see what comes with it. They can get that breakdown of everything that's included. And if you have a price, your price will be there, and we'll go ahead and hit approve. All right, so the customer approved that option. And when we want to apply the service plan to go into the system, this is how you're going to want to do it. So they approved the silver package. They're going to see that it costs $250. So we're going to go ahead and copy to job. And there's the line item right there. Now, what I coach people to do at this point is you would want to come in here and you would want to remove the price, because again, the payment does not would only affect that invoice and not tell the system that we have paid for the service plan. So now we have there the service plan that they agreed to, and right above that section of the line items, you can see there's the service plan section in the mobile app. So what we would do next is we're going to go ahead and hit add a service plan. They selected the silver plan, so we're going to go ahead and select that one right there. I know it's a little bit of different pricing, but just kind of showing you the steps here. This service plan is already in my system, so I can select it. We can change that start date. So if we are talking with the customer and they say, hey, I'd love to get started, but maybe in 6 months, let's have that first visit, you can always do so. In this example, we'll just have that it's going to start today. So we'll hit next. They do have the ability to, for this plan, opt into add-ons, but we're just going to go ahead and say next. And there we go. We can confirm the billing cycle for every 6 months. We'll hit next, review the plan, and we'll hit done. Now notice when I hit done, it's going to say pay for the plan. So if you're there with the customer and they want to make that payment, you can go ahead and take it. But because now we're doing this in the service plan section, it's going to tell the system that we are paying for the service plan, and we're going to see that payment on the back end. There is also save as a draft. So maybe as you're talking to the customer's like, I kind of want to think about it. I see what you're putting down here, but I got to talk about it with my family. You can always save it as a draft, or you can always send it to the customer so that they can review it and they can make their payment through the client portal. But if we're on site, we'll just go ahead and say pay for the plan. Next, and then right there, easy enough, you can go ahead and take their payment. So kind of with that kind of shows, one, the process of putting your service plans into your price book, and that is being able, so you can show them on your estimates, and when your customer approves it, we convert it over into a job, and I showed you is that we would go ahead and remove the price there so that they're not paying for it twice, and how to go ahead and stick a service plan on essentially an invoice, have a customer be able to pay for it, so they are now on that service agreement. And so with that, that's kind of the things that I had prepared for us. So I would like to open the floor to any questions about this process.
Awesome. Looks like Nettle, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, has dropped a bunch of questions here. I'm going to see if I can publish this on screen.
Oh, I see that there.
Can we get a notification to certain admins? First question, can we get a notification to certain admins when something has been added to pipeline or status has been updated?
If we're talking about on the mobile app, as far as I know, there really isn't a notification that goes out. On the website, though, when something has been added to the pipeline, let me double check that. I know that you would be able to see it in the activity feed. So I know that there's that at least. With that notifications button, get into my website here. So it does, because technically when we create an estimate or we create a job, and we see that it'll be assigned, it'll pop up on this notifications tab. So looks like we can take a look at, you'll get the notification here. I know that people have been asking for some kind of sound. I think that is being looked at, but notifications, as we can see here, it has been assigned to somebody, so you do get that notification. I know that when we typically move things around on the pipeline, that doesn't spark a or trigger a notification. So if I move this over here, and if I move maybe unscheduled to in review, as we can see, really no notifications. But with your activity feed, yeah, it looks like it doesn't move when you're moving things on the pipeline. Looks like all of that is triggered when you're creating estimates and creating jobs, creating those options and sales proposal tool. So that's what we currently have available in terms of the notification. When a status has been updated, those statuses is really based on the triggering of like what the job has been assigned, when people say that they're on their way, basically anything that you would get in the normal activity feed when you're looking at an estimate or your job. Are we able to set due dates and reminders? I would need a little bit more clarification on what due dates and reminders you're talking about, because with that, when I usually talk about reminders, the best thing for that, in my opinion, is tasks. And to go along with your question, or an answer to your question, is when we create a task, we can assign it to somebody and we can assign a customer to it. So I think I always tell my pros that's the best place for reminders. And also on here, there is a due date. So I think that would be the best thing for you in terms of answering that question. Are we able to assign the job in pipeline to other admin depending on what step it's on? So in the mobile app, again, as I mentioned, it is a little bit more limited, really just for you to visually see all of your work within your pipeline. When you are on the website here, that is where you're more able to have a little bit more functionality of clicking on a specific ticket, and we can go into that estimate or into that job and assign it to somebody else. Can a person get notified when we assign them? So when a job or an estimate is assigned to somebody, they should get a notification through the Housecall Pro mobile app. I've seen it 1,000 times in my trainings, so I know for sure that that does come up. And can we make links clickable in private notes on the job that also reflect in pipeline notes for internal purposes? And as far as my testing, I have not seen links be able to be accessed in the private notes. Chris, have you seen any of that? I personally have not.
No, I don't believe that there's any way to link in the private notes, but that is some excellent feedback. That's something that I haven't really seen, but I could see how it would be useful.
Yeah, same. So I hope that answered your questions. Feel free to let me know if I need to explain anything a little bit more.
Yeah, they said thank you very much. Yeah, this is actually a good opportunity for me to mention as well. If you're looking for you feel like you're misusing Pipeline, right, and you want a little bit more support, one-on-one onboarding help, or not one-on-one, but in a group setting, we are having some onboarding sessions specifically for these products. So if you want to, if you want a little bit more help with Pipeline, we can get you in the right direction, get you set up. And if depending on the account that you're on, if you're on a max plan, you have coaching calls available. If you go to the blue chat bubble, you can schedule a coaching call, and you'll get somebody from Phil's team that'll come on and join you for an hour, 30 minutes, whatever the session time is, and help answer your questions. I just wanted to pull this question from Facebook. This is from Ricky on Facebook. He said, I use my iPad a lot in the truck. When I click on jobs in Pipeline, it opens in my app instead of website. Can this be turned off so I can stay on the Chrome website? If I'm not mistaken, there might be a setting depending on the device. Oh, yeah, you're an iPad. I think there's an iOS setting that you can do that would allow the web to be opened instead of Facebook, but I think you would have to be logged in. Excuse me, not Facebook, the House Call Pro app.
Yeah, because I think when I've seen that, it typically does that. It's almost like any other app that you use. Like if you access the online version and you like click a button, it's gonna ask you, okay, we're gonna go ahead and open up the app. I personally don't. I've never done anything to like limit that. So I'm with you, Chris. I don't really. I would just kind of lean on what you said. There's probably some kind of setting.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that question. AI might be your friend there. AI probably has the answer. Put it into the chat GPT or give it a Google, and Gemini can probably walk you through how to do that. Otherwise, yeah, I would recommend if you're only using the web version on your iPad, you don't want to use the mobile app, I would maybe just delete the mobile app, especially if you have an iPhone
Yeah,
and access it there. Then you'll avoid that altogether. Awesome. From Star, sorry if this was asked already. In the Pipeline, does it have the service contact to remind of service?
I don't really think so, because like as you can see, when I click on the job at least in the mobile app, you see it just kind of opens up the job. Again, it's very limited in the mobile app compared to what you can do when you're on the website. But
contract. Okay, I thought I might need some more context there.
Yeah, can you repeat that question with the context?
Yeah, Star asked in Pipeline if does it have service contracts to remind of service? I think that's her question.
Okay. Up front, the answer I would say is no. And what I would say is kind of like a workaround is as you can see, if I'm in the website and I click on a ticket, there is a place to add to view and edit notes. So maybe you want to put something in a note that says like, here, these are the packages that we had, and we could put something in the private notes that says like, this person is due for a service call on this particular date, or be sure to ask your customer when they want to sign up for their next service date.
Yeah. And Phil, while you've got that pulled up, I don't know what kind of plan you're on this account. Are you able to show where they can schedule a coaching call? I see a question here about that.
Yes. So for that, it's going to be in your blue chat bubble. I know and it's going to be under customer support. If you are on a Max or Max Plus plan, you should already have the schedule coaching button down here for you. If you are on basic or essentials, what you're going to have to do is you'll just reach out to our chat team and just simply say, hey, I would love a coaching call, and then they will put you through.
Let's see. Next question from Norma. Hi, I'm trying to decide what type of device would be best for the person in charge of sales in my company. I was thinking of getting them a laptop, but I've noticed you're using tablets. What do you think? Which one do you find more practical and efficient for somebody handling sales in a cleaning business like ours? Norma, personally, my opinion here would be if you have somebody doing sales, especially in the field, I would definitely recommend a tablet over a laptop. It's a little bit easier to present on. You have the option to use the mobile app or log in on the web, versus just using the web on a laptop. Might not be as easy to present to your customer. Personally, I would use a tablet and then use a computer or a laptop in the office. Good question.
Yeah. I would echo that. I think the tablet is the best way to go. First off, to kind of answer the first kind of question, I guess kind of like question of that is it doesn't matter what tablet you use, it doesn't matter what phone you use, it's going to work, or what laptop you use, it's going to work on all devices. A lot of people, as I've talked to pros over time, it's kind of back and forth. Tablets versus the phone. Obviously, our technicians have their phone. Everybody has their phone in their pocket, so it's always there and available. But thinking from the customer perspective, I would think more highly of your company if you had tablets. There's something about like having a salesperson at my door with a tablet that just seems a bit more professional than them just pulling out their phone that they probably sat on and cracked into a million pieces on their screen. So we've all done it. Don't say you haven't. So I would recommend the tablet.
Yeah, I agree. And Nettie's on the same page here, Norma. It looks like they use iPad minis for size and functionality. Yeah, that's a great point. It's big enough to present, but small enough to take around, not too bulky.
That's what I had. So
yeah, awesome. Y'all, what other questions do you have? We've still got some more time, so feel free, drop them in. Pipeline, sales proposal tool, even questions like devices. Happy to try and answer those. While we wait on a couple more questions, I think we can pull up some of these FAQs we've got here. Let's see. This is a common question. I think we answered this yesterday. This is from Conley Crew. They asked us on Facebook, is there a way to prevent pipeline follow-up texts from sending, on Sundays or after hours? It's a pretty common question that we get.
That's really just all in your automations. And we don't, as of right now, we don't have it set up for like, don't do it on Sunday, don't do it on Saturday. Like we just don't have that functionality as of yet. But you can always come in here, like I have all mine turned off. So if you want to make that a part of your, closing up shop on Friday, just go on in there and turn these off. You're more than welcome to. That would be my workaround for that. But the automations are really just kind of built in for, you're going to say, how many days you want to go by before that triggers and sends off your estimate again, or your email that says, hey, we need to get you booked for your project. So that would be my advice.
Yeah. And I know we are working on potentially changing that in the future where you have a little bit more control over what time messages go out, but no ETA on any of that right now. Looks like Shayna clarified in here. She's been helping monitor Facebook. Star is asking about the reminders for scheduling service plan visits. Going back to that question we had before.
Yeah. So now I know what you're talking about there. So if we actually go into our, and again, you cannot do this on the app. You have to do it in the website. So if I go to my service plans, and we go to the little gear in the upper right-hand corner right over there, that's where you can set up your scheduling reminders and renewal emails as well. So you can set up as many as you need. So with that scheduling reminder, I typically see a lot of people do like 1 month out, and I don't have the text messaging on my account, but send out an email or a text message. And, some people even, we got 1 month out and then maybe 2 weeks out. You can really set up all the reminders to, exactly how you want to set it up. And same thing with the renewal reminder emails. So if you have your customers renew on service agreements, same idea. We can send them a reminder 60 days out. Hey, you're getting close to the end of your service plan. Would you like to re-enroll for next year? That kind of thing. You can go ahead and start setting up your frequency on when you want these to go out. So it is possible. I'm sorry if I didn't mention that earlier.
No, all good. Yeah, and there is tasks. Your other comment here, Star. Is there a task component or schedule or calendar of HCP? Again, like you have your service plan dashboards, you can set up your reminders here. If you're looking for something more to be even more on top of it, we have the tasks feature. So if you want to write out a task, make sure that service plan visit got scheduled. You could do that. Yep, right there. And under tasks, you can assign it to yourself. You have a due date. You'll be able to get that on your mobile device as well. Or if you want events, you can schedule events just like you would schedule a job. So if you know that you want to review something on October 18th and you want it on your calendar so that it reminds you, you can set it up that way too. So a few options there.
Yeah. Here, and I'll actually slide over my mobile app, so just so everybody can see where you can access your tasks. So if we go to our dashboard, it's in the upper left-hand corner. It's those lines with the checks. If I click on that, that's going to open up all the tasks. My account here is I'm signed in as an admin, so that way I can see literally all the tasks, and I can even see the tasks that are assigned to myself. Can even create my own task by hitting the plus button in the upper right-hand corner if I need to.
All right. Yeah, we still have some more time. If you have more questions, oh, I'm muted. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Sorry. Going back and forth between Facebook and Goldcast here. It was showing me muted on the Facebook side. It lags a few minutes. Yeah, I want to give you guys a few more minutes. I have some FAQs here we can review, but I also want to remind you, Carissa pinned this in our chat. If you're interested in any of these, if you're just checking out Sales Proposal Tool, if you're looking to upgrade and add service plans to your account, if you're looking for any of those, there's a form above. You can fill that out. We're running a promo right now, 25% off. So if you haven't heard this already, we're running a 25% off promo if you bundle all three of these together. So fill out that link. It's pinned in the chat, and someone will follow up with you. Let's see. Let the service plans automatically generate tasks. Phil, I don't know if you're seeing this from Shayna. She says that she can see that. I didn't know that was a feature we had either.
Where is it?
On our session chat here. Don't the service plans automatically generate tasks? In the task list, Shayna? Yeah, he's showing it. Yeah, right there. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see them now. And those are auto-generated.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. The more you know. See? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Let me jump over here. Let me ask a couple other questions. Phil, I think you might have touched on the smart recommendations, but what are those smart recommendations on Pipeline? I just want to reiterate that.
Sure. So the smart recommendations, it's really just a button. I don't really know like the inners or why it's called the smart smart recommendations. I think it's just kind of like a default that we usually give everybody of just like a good cadence to when to send out these reminders. So as you see, when I just hit the switch, it says smart recommendation. And if I go to try to edit any of these, it's not going to let me. It's just kind of a default that we set for everybody. You're welcome to use it. I do know a lot of pros that come to me when they sign up for Pipeline. Usually this is already turned on for you. And so one of the first things that we do is go in and turn it off, because then first off, these people are like fresh to the program, so they don't even know how to schedule a job yet. And now all of a sudden, as they're doing tests and maybe on a real customer, now this customer is getting these notifications, these emails and text messages. So that's why I always coach everybody, if you are new to the platform with the pipeline, is to come in and quickly go ahead and turn these off, turn the smart recommendations off. But you can, as we saw, how easy it is to turn them on and turn them off at any time. Turning it on just means that you're going to let basically us take care of that for you. Whereas if you turn it off, the smart recommendations off, that is where you can have more customization of when you want these alerts to go out to your customers.
Yeah, and I believe that is based on your industry and seasonality. So if you're an HVAC pro, it might look different than if you're a handyman pro. Yeah, I'd recommend if you have a system that's working, you can turn that off. But maybe you're not pushing as many sales. Maybe you want to turn that back on. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see, y'all. Any other questions? I'm going to answer. We'll ask one or two more of these pre-determined questions, and then if not, let everybody get on with their day here. But let me see. We've answered a lot of these. I'm trying to find something. In pipeline, the locked sections, is there a way to rename those sections, or can we just create a new column? I know some sections are locked or tied to emails, but I want a clean slate. Can I customize and make it my own? That's from Bob.
I get that question a lot. Let's take a step back. You're talking about when we go into customizing your boards.
Yeah.
For these locked ones, unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about it. It's just the way that the system works. And you can't get rid of them either. So that's also kind of unfortunate, specifically for you. But there is a method to the madness. Otherwise, the pipeline wouldn't work if we don't have these specific things locked in. What I have seen some people do is that you could potentially just start creating your own columns, and you can, like for my jobs here, let's see if I can find a good example of one. So yeah, like here's some of the ones that I've created. What I did and what I've seen people do is they just slide all the ones that they created towards the front of the pipeline, and all the ones that are automated and locked are towards the end of their pipeline. That is going to allow you to, if you want to customize it and kind of see your pipeline the way that you want to, but just be aware that you're going to be doing a lot of manual stuff, because the reason those are locked is because it's connected to the functionality of our platform. So like when a job is put in the system and is unscheduled, it's going to go into the unscheduled bucket. But you can, with your pipeline, take that ticket and move it into your own bucket. So the locked stuff is unfortunately there to stay. It's not going anywhere. But that would be my suggestion if you want to kind of create your own pipeline.
Okay, looks like we got another question here. Question from Nancy. Is there a place to keep track of the services provided for customers inside the service plans?
I'm assuming you're keeping track of past services. So with that, whenever you are in the system and you pull up a customer, all right, and so we can see this customer is on a couple of service plans, but if I click on the service plan, down here we have those visits. And so if you are using our service plans and you start doing your visits, you can, if a job is created for that visit and you start listing services, there's going to be a link right here to that invoice number that you can always click on that will open up that job, open up that invoice so you can see the past services. That is really the only way that you're going to be able to do that. The only other thing I can think of is, I mean, you could go into customer history, but that's going to show you the entire history. If you're just regarding your service plans, your best bet is to click on the service plan, take a look at those visits. And as I said, I know I don't have an example of it, but if we did have an invoice attached to a visit, you would be able to click on it, review what that service call was.
Thanks. All right, y'all, I'll give you one more minute. I'm looking through our FAQs. I think we've hit all of those. So I'm going to remind you, tomorrow's our last day of this. This has been a week-long series that we've been doing. We've been calling it Pipeline to Profit. If you're here from our Power Hour audience. Tomorrow's office hours. We have office hours every single week, but tomorrow it's themed. It's going right along with this week. We're going to be talking about sales tactics that you'll be able to discuss with other pros. So if you're looking to get some feedback or get some advice from another pro, tomorrow's a great opportunity to speak face-to-face, virtually in the room here. You can also join us in the chat and ask your questions there. So I encourage you to be here. It's going to happen tomorrow at 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So different time than today, different time than the rest of the week. It's at 11 Pacific time tomorrow. Right here, same place. Just come back to this link that you joined on today, and we'll promote you into the room if you want to speak, or you can join us in the chat. Looks like we got another question that rolled in from Cameron. He asked, is there an easier way to edit service plans, such as price increases before renewals, other than closing and creating a completely new plan for each customer?
Unfortunately, Cameron, the answer is no. The service plans are kind of built so that when you build them, they're kind of set in stone. You do have the ability to go back and edit it, but if you do, that's going to edit it for everybody that's on that plan. So yeah, unfortunately, the best advice I can give is that you just are going to have to create a completely new plan.
Yep. Common question. Good question. I'm seeing a couple of other questions here about the recordings. Star asked if this is going to be recorded. Yeah, Star, I see you're on Facebook, so you should have access to all of these recordings. They're in the Facebook group. They should be pinned at the top. Or if you click, Shayna's running the live stream here. If you click her profile, it should show all of the videos from the past few days she's been streaming for us. So you can go back and watch those. And then Gina, I see your question here. You're joining us on Goldcast. I did find out today that these recordings are for some reason not on demand yet, and they might not be on demand until Saturday. So they will be available. They're just not available yet. I'm going to try and see if we can make that sooner. But as of right now, these will be available on Saturday. And if you're registered, you'll be able to go back and watch all of them, including tomorrow's office hours. All right. Yeah, let me drop a link to the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, you are missing out. It's a group of over 30,000 members. Everybody's a House Call Pro user. It's a great place to network, ask questions, etc. And yes, Don, good question. We will have all of these available on YouTube soon too. Hopefully next week, those will all be available. Yeah, and there's the link to the Facebook group. Highly recommend you join. Just put in there your company name, your email, so we can confirm you're a House Call Pro user, and then we'll let you join the group. I encourage you, introduce yourself. It's a great way to start meeting people and building connections right away. So I'll say hey, Lauren will say hey, Shayna will say hey. So I hope to see you over there too. All right, well, Phil, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. Y'all, thank you for bearing with us as we kind of are on a new platform doing this thing for the first time. I appreciate your patience. And we'll see you hopefully all tomorrow at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern for office hours. yeah, come get some sales tactics and tips from other pros.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right. Take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
All right.